Let's see. Preparing to do. Okay, so I think that's working. Yeah, that's working. Got it. All right, so let me hit record. So I actually don't have to hit record because it's it's on YouTube, right? All right, so hello everyone. Welcome to the Expanded View episode number 8 for today, September 14th. I'm your co-host, Alar Canfield with
Kimberly Crow.
Awesome. So this is going to be strange since we're not doing it on Facebook like we normally do. So, so Kimberly, how's it going? How was your week? How was your 2 weeks? Because we didn't have a show last week.
I know we didn't.
It was Labor Day.
Right. We took a break. Good. The energies have been, well, I want to say they've been intense, but for me, really, I know the rest of the world saying the energy's intense, and I haven't felt that much change for myself.
Me neither.
Yeah. I've been
fine. I've been good.
Yeah. We're in that, we're in a new moon coming up on the 17th. So we're already starting to be in that energy. And we had Mars go retrograde in its home Aries on the 9th. So what that means is it can be internal anger going on, or just maybe irritation at the rest of the world. Maybe that's a way to, present it, that things trigger you fast, that you get really triggered and short fuses with stuff. So it can be that way. Now, I haven't experienced that with myself, and I haven't experienced it with the outside world, but I noticed my cat doesn't even want to go outside.
That's funny. No, I've been having a really good week. I can't remember 2 weeks ago because that's too far to go. But a week, I've been having a good week. I've been like feeling really good, doing more meditation, doing more to raise my vibration, doing more of my spiritual practice, etc. So it's been good. I've been on having a good time.
That's really interesting because just like when Mercury goes retrograde, which we've got that coming up soon too, but same thing with Mars, when it goes retrograde, it's that energy of action. So it can be that warrior. So it can spread. The negative side is if we want to call it negative, the internal triggers, but then the triggers are just about looking at what's not working for me right now and what am I ready to move on with and what am I ready to release. And also that energy can be internal action that you instead of it being antsy at the world and what's wrong with the world, it may go in a way that is, I just feel like I need to do action and I'm supposed to be creating. And I did think about you with that because, you were already feeling that with the fall energy and that it felt like, that there was some kind of action going on. And when I was looking at some of that this week, I thought maybe that's what you were already sensing because it can be that way depending on what house it is for you. For me, it is that. Like I want to organize things right now. It's like today I was going through all of my files in my computer and going, why is this all over the place? These need to be put in boxes. They all need to be put here, here, and here so I can find things. So
I've done a little bit of that as well. The past couple of days, but I think for me it's been more of an internal spiritual type of doing, but like doing my spiritual practices, just focusing on that, going more internally. But at the same time, like I already have so much stuff going on, right? So action is already happening anyways, right? The outside action is always going on because I have a lot of shows, a lot of programs, etc. But the internal work, that's where my focus has been, and it's feeling good.
That's great.
So I wonder if other people are also feeling pulled to go inside, to go internally, to check in with themselves and say, how am I doing? What do I need? At a core level, what do I need right now?
And that's the highest beneficial way you can utilize that energy is to go in within yourself and to, kind of use it to move the energy through and that type of, in that type of way. I had an experience. I'm facilitating a 30-day immersion that just started on the weekend. And during the process of taking them through, because, you know, every time we do that, we go into a higher level too.
Yeah.
And I went into that, where they call the God codes, the part of the brain where like the DMT is and where all the psychedelic stuff happens. And I saw a gateway in the pineal. I've seen that gateway door into what I call the sacred chamber of the heart. But like as I moved up, there was a sacred chamber into the pineal. And I don't know that I had ever witnessed it in that way. It's not new. I know it's always been there, but I suddenly like knew, I was aware. Maybe that was it. I was totally aware of where it was that I was at with inside of my brain. And it was just all of this kind of expanded energy and like being inside of a kaleidoscope or something, you know. And it was so interesting. It was like being on some kind of carousel inside. I just wanted to stay in there with it. There was so much joy and so much passion and so much creativity.
Right. Nice.
Yeah. So that's there for everybody. You know, you can take that energy within, travel within yourself and activate those points for yourself. And then that's what I heard. You just entered into the God code chamber. And it was like, oh, this is so cool. And I can feel this. and you know, and I actually realized that the 2 or 3 times that I did ayahuasca, that I didn't think anything really happened. And I remember thinking, oh, I've been here before. I know what this place is. I just didn't realize anything was going on because I didn't feel like that much really happened for me, you know, because I have a way to be able to get into that temple on my own, you know, and that I didn't really need that. So it was different. It was like I could tell I was in a different place, and then it was with this place that you just bring everything in to create the next creation.
Yeah.
So that's what happened to me. That's what my week's been about.
And the thing is, it's like, you know, we can all tap into that. We can all access that, you know, if we choose to, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. And so why not? Right? Why not? Just ask for it to be shown to you. Ask for you to have access to you. But the thing is, you have to get still for a moment and, you know, calm down your mind and get in your body and, you know, just ask, right?
Yeah. And that's when we do our own inner work. And that we actually, if you feel like, well, I'm not getting there, what's wrong? Why am I not getting there? Well, that's what you asked. You asked that question. You know, what do I need to clear, or what belief or what to let go of to receive in order to be in that energy? We're the only ones that's holding us back.
Absolutely. And that's the thing. We don't realize that we are holding ourselves back. So what can we do to, you know, change that? Right?
Ask and do action. Keep doing it.
and
in the quiet moment and feel the energy and connect to it, instead of going in that, you know, poor pitiful me, this is not happening for me in my life. If you do hit that, that's okay too, because sometimes we have to go there. Sometimes I go into that. I was in another group and it was like celebrate your wins, and I did. And they said, how'd you get there? I said, I cried and kicked and did it anyway. I just kept going.
And sometimes that is how you get there, right?
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I may have had those days where I just went, I don't want to do this. I'm tired of this. I can't do this anymore.
Yeah, absolutely.
And when you're at that place, then you are at a place that you're getting ready to go through another expansion.
So don't judge yourself when you're at that place. You know, instead, like have compassion, be compassionate with yourself, love yourself, and say, okay, I am here and I'm moving forward into whatever it is I want to create. You know, whatever it is I want to be or do and have. You know, so but just recognize that, acknowledge that, and that's okay. as soon as you acknowledge it, as soon as you're aware of it and say it's okay, it will shift.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because it's got your attention.
And that's really what surrender is. You know, we make up all of this stuff and then we get all in a thing with surrender. We get into this whole tizzy with it. And it's like, but that's what surrender is stepping back, taking a breath, and allowing the expansion.
It doesn't have to be any more complicated than that.
Mm-mm.
Right? But so the surrender is not of the mind, right? At all. You know, it kind of is, because you're surrendering the ego a little bit. You're taking the ego to step back a little bit, right? But it's not it's what I'm trying to say is not a concept, an intellectual concept. It's an actual being, doing, you know, it's an action verb, you know, surrender, right?
Yeah.
So it's something you have to, you know, it's hard for me. I'll be honest. I'm a control freak, so surrendering is hard, you know, right? So because I want to stay where I'm at, you know, and a lot of times when you surrender, it means the unknown, going into the unknown, tapping into the unknown, not knowing what the next step is going to be, not knowing what the future is going to be. But if you relax into that and trust spirit, trust yourself, trust your guides, and just be gentle with yourself, you'll be able to get through it much more easily and with grace.
Yeah. And you can always back up, you know, it's like you can go, oh, okay, forget it. I don't know how to surrender. And then it comes around again. It'll come back to you.
Exactly. It'll always come back to you. And that's the thing. It's like recognizing when it does, instead of going into judgment and saying, oh no, not again. What's wrong with me? Why do I keep doing this? No, it's like, okay, what piece am I not getting here? You know, it's like, what's that one piece that I keep missing?
What's the
judgment?
Opportunity? Yeah.
What's the opportunity? I like to ask also, what's the blessing here? What's the gift here? You know, what is the opportunity here that, you know, I can really shift me into the next level of my being, into the next evolution of me.
I have found that the fast turnaround is when I breathe in, that I do go into gratitude and go, okay, thank you for this opportunity. And when I go into that place of the blessing, what is the blessing, into the place of to be in, you know, the gratitude of it, and that it moves faster.
Yeah, because you're getting out of your head. The resistance is not as great. You know, you're settling down. You're being gentle a little bit, and it's a different energy. So I wanted to talk a little bit today, Kimberly, about something that just came up for me the other day. Okay, and so this is interesting. So, you know, I wear crystals, right, and stones and things like that, because, you know, I've been doing that for a long time. But I also love diamonds, right? So I have diamonds, right? So I also love sparkly things. See my sparkly watch, right? But today I actually got these earrings, right? And I don't normally wear earrings at all, ever. And I, you know, I've never had diamond earrings before, but these ones called to me. As soon as I saw them, I was like, oh my God, I have to have them. You know, it's like my body was saying, yes, I want those, right? So I waited a couple of weeks until I finally got them. But one of the things that kept coming to my head is like, okay, so, you know, I have a lot of crystal jewelry, right? Lots of crystal jewelry, and I've been wearing crystal jewelry for a while. And I have other diamond and gold jewelry that I had put aside. You know, I had put it aside, don't wear it, because it wasn't spiritual. Okay, it's not spiritual. And I wanted crystals and stones to help raise my vibration, to, you know, shift my energy and so on. And then when I got these earrings, it's like, okay, isn't everything spiritual, right? Everything is of spirit. We are spiritual. So it's like, where did I learn to make that distinction? And where did I judge, you know, that spiritual jewelry was better in some way than diamonds and gold? Where did that come from? I have no idea. It doesn't matter. But the point was like, today when I got the earrings, like, you know, I like them. You know, they make me feel good. And there's a reason why I was called to them, because I was guided to go into that store, because I never go there, that kind of thing. And I was guided to do that, and they feel good and blah, blah, blah. But it's like, oh my God, where else in our lives are we judging life as not being spiritual and making something being spiritual greater than living life, right?
Yeah, where are we compartmentalizing it?
We are, right? And it's like, oh my God, I didn't even realize I was doing that until, I had this thought come up. It's like, oh, because really, honestly, everything is spiritual. There's nothing that's not, because we are of spirit. We are spirit embodied here in the flesh, having this human experience. But even this human experience is a spiritual experience because everything is spirit.
Right.
Right. So it's like somewhere along the way, we've all, been conditioned to think that, being spiritual is better than living life. But there's no difference. One is just basically, I'm just more consciously focusing on being spirit than, before.
It's still judgment. And I mean, when you really sit back and look at that, I mean, when you've been in these circles, I mean, you've seen that. It's like that is just as judgmental as, other things.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh, absolutely.
If some people label, like, say if they labeled, I don't want to bring lower energy, but like if people labeled Christians for judging them, and then there's that energy of that. I noticed that one time when there was a little group around here that I went to just to try to be around, like-minded people. And it was more of like a Wiccan witch group. And I noticed how much judgment there was towards Christians. And it was like, well, isn't that the same? Aren't we doing the same thing? If we're not open and accepting and to whatever love that is, and the compassion that people have, aren't we doing the same thing?
Mm-hmm.
And I have noticed that. I've noticed, because honestly, churches do a lot of work to feed hungry people.
Yeah.
I mean, they do a lot of work with that. And when when you look back at that, it's like, yeah. So
so we're not going to go into the whole religion debate.
No, I'm not going, but I'm just using it as an example.
Yeah.
As an example. And then I have recognized that in myself and go, wait a minute. Something that came up for me this week, that I don't want to get into the whole whatever, but there's a movie that's out that's been all over the social media, and that everybody's like just really sending all this energy at. And I felt myself doing the same judgment toward it, not knowing anything about it, but it triggered me up. And that was probably the only thing that I saw triggering this weekend. And I watched it. I don't even have a television. And I went to my daughter's and I turned the television on, and I was watching the granddaughter. She was watching Peppa Pig. And I just flipped it on, and there it was. It was all over the screen. And I thought, I'm going to see what this is about. And I felt myself go, I can just turn it off. I'm an adult. I don't have to watch this if I don't want to. Nobody's going to control me. I have the control button in my hand.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the movie wasn't anything like what is being said about it in the things that I had read. And I had so much judgment, and I was so angry at the movie. And it was all about.
So now I want to know, what is the movie? Because obviously, because I didn't watch it. I know that because I didn't watch any.
Eh? Cuties.
Cooties.
Yeah.
See, so I've never even heard about it.
It's about little girl dancers and how they're dressed is what everybody was labeling it as all of this. But honestly, what it was, that the movie is truly about, if you really watch the storyline, it's not. It is about when we give our own power away to be accepted in the world. That's what the whole message of the movie is.
And who hasn't? Who has not done that?
Right. It's the whole thing of how that starts, and how it starts young. And it's that, maybe not being recognized by their parents, or that their parents are trying to put them in the box that is not their box. And so then they start trying to seek friends outside of them, and that they can fly their own freak flag in however way, because they just want acceptance. And so they were getting recognized, and and how they were dressing. And it's got young girls in some skimpy clothes, but haven't we done that in society? And so I saw what the director and what the movie was really about, the message in it. That was the truth of the message. And I had, read everything everybody else saw, and I watched the trailers, and honestly, the worst parts of the movie are in the trailer. Of course it is. They do that because they want you to watch it.
Yeah.
They want to trigger you.
Yeah,
and so, yeah, maybe there were some things that could be done different, but then would it have got the publicity? I don't know, because the publicity, energy's energy, and it's what you make of it. And there is a deep, deep message within this. And so I did see that. I saw that in myself. So it goes back to that same thing. When is it spiritual judgment? It's still judgment,
still judgment.
that this is some kind of, because it was all about acceptance, and when you give your own power away for something external from you. And so maybe that's what happened with the jewelry thing. People started judging that. Oh, look, they're just, like that this makes me be this, because there is a part of that sometimes, that we're, draping ourselves in whatever way because it gives the persona of this.
Yeah.
And so I guess there's a part of when you're stripping away all of your personas as you're doing the spiritual walk, if you want to call it that. And there's a part that we strip away all the exterior things. What do you call that?
But the thing is,
and then we start labeling it ourselves in another way. So yeah.
But I found, like, for myself, when I, because like I said, I don't normally wear earrings, and whenever I do, my ears always tend to get infected and like yucky, but I've been wearing these for like, I don't know, 6-10 hours now, and it's been great. No issues, no problem. It's like, oh my God, so
right.
So for me, it was more of this is something that the body wanted. This is something that my guides sent me to. This is, so it's like, okay, cool. And I like it. So, it's like, they're so sparkly. I love it. And they match my ring as well, right? So I bought a ring back in Spain a couple of years ago, and now I have matching kind of earrings. But the thing is, it's like, if it brings you joy, if it makes you feel good, do it.
Right.
I'm not doing it for other people. I'm doing it for me because it makes me feel good.
Yeah, it makes you feel good. And so there maybe, and the vibrations in it, the vibrations of the gold, and that's probably pure gold instead of some of the metals that are mixed in other things that make our ears do the things that they do.
Exactly.
And so, so there was probably something in your meridians, in your body, even those are points there at your ears, that it's doing something, that there's something that happens in that way, that something's opening up.
Yeah. So if your body is asking for something, don't judge it and say, well, no, you can't have that because it's not spiritual, or no, or like, even if it's meat, for example, we talked about this the other day, last time, I think, was when I was in Paris and we were walking and I was like exhausted. And then it's like, we were eating and I had a whole cheeseburger with bacon and I ate the whole thing plus a big bottle of Coke, right? So it's like, and I don't normally have that, but that's what my body was craving, because it needed the salt, it needed the sugar, it needed the protein, it needed the energy, because I was like exhausted, right? So it's like, okay, cool, but I don't have it every day. I don't have it all the time. It's not something I do, but I listen to my body. What does my body require today, without judgment? It's like, okay, cool. And if you're like, you can bless your food, etc. You can bless the animals, etc. You can do all that, which is great. But always remember, you are here embodied in this physical body. What does your body require?
Yeah, I did that this year where I would, because I've been, vegetarian, vegan. I've done all of it. It's live food, juices, all the different things. And I actually went keto for a while. And honestly, really, truly, I felt better. My energy level felt better. I felt better. But my mind was having so much judgment over myself. Right. I mean, I was having this horrible judgment over myself. And I thought, this is not helping anything, because I'm, and I really believed that it was like, I felt like that I smelt while I was eating meat. It's like, oh, I smell like meat. but it could have been all the judgment that I was having from all myself that I smelled.
And that's the thing. Last year, my husband wanted to do keto, and he wanted me to go on keto too. And I said, I can't eat meat every day all the time like that. I can't do it. It's just, it's just not me.
So I'm going to go back into really connecting into my own inner alchemist and for what is it for the day that I need. And actually doing the intermittent fasting felt good to me too.
Yeah.
And I have been back on sugar and grains and stuff, and I don't feel as well, but I like them. I like the way they taste. But
exactly. I'm going to go back on the intermittent fasting as well. I was just thinking about that today, because it's like, I need to do something different in my body's asking for something different. So I was like, okay.
Yeah, I am too. I can feel that there's a shift that's wanting to happen because I haven't been as active and stuff. And there is a shift that's asking for some kind of cleanse. And and so in this, the whole thing is about going into your own internal system and what is it for you in the moment that is, and my body, my energy does better on like a fish diet. Like if I do, some salmon or some tuna, it's like it likes that, it's like
I can eat salmon and tuna. I like salmon and tuna.
Right. Salmon, and like sai tuna. It's like, oh yeah, I like ai tuna. It must be a dolphin thing in there. So I don't know what it is, but it's like,
but I was never raised on seafood, right? I never had seafood growing up. Right. And even salmon, when I first met my husband, he used to have salmon all the time. It's like, I can't eat that. I just, it's not me. Again, it's not me. I can't eat that. And I only say that because it's not something I was used to, and it's something but now I have it, and it's like, oh my God, it's so good. Now my body likes it. But in the beginning, it was my mind that was saying no. Right. Because it didn't have the habit of it. It didn't know what it felt like to eat it, or anything like that. So it's my body saying no. And my husband said that to me too. And it's like, and so I said, fine, I'll try it. It's like, I'll try it. Right. So, but it took me a couple of times before I really liked it. And now I love it. Now I love it. I like to have salmon once a week, tuna, whenever, I don't care, but salmon once a week, and so I'd rather have salmon than have chicken or turkey.
Yeah. I don't do well on the poultry stuff. I feel like they pull my energy down.
So if I had a choice between salmon and chicken or turkey, I would have salmon, So it's not about being a vegetarian or not being a vegetarian. I mean, let's face it, I'm Hindu, so I was raised, liberally, but my mom or my grandparents, they never had meat, right? And even when we were growing up, we didn't have meat that much, right? Not often at all, because my mom didn't cook it, right? So it's like, she's like, I'm not cooking it, but then she started to make chicken, and that was about it. So it's what you get used to, but if you ask your body, say, body, do you want this? Listen to what it says. It will take some time for you to get used to it and start to understand your body's responses and how it talks to you, but it makes a huge difference. And just get your head out of the way. I mean, there's probably something I still won't eat, it's like, no, right? But on the whole, the general stuff, I will ask my body, do you want this? Yes or no? Without any judgment, because it's not like I'm going to eat steak every day, because I don't, I don't know when I had steak last. It's like, oh my God, but, or burgers every day, because I don't. But if my body requires that in order for it to function properly and keep doing whatever it's doing that day, then it's like, okay, thank you.
Yeah. Right? Some days there's something in that. And some days, too, sometimes there is an energetic thing of a comfort food, whether that's a comfort food to you or not. But there is something sometimes of experience when we are going through a change. And then it's when you get stuck on it that it becomes addiction problem, whatever you want to call that. Overindulgence.
But that's why you should be asking your body on a regular basis, not just once and then for the next 3 months not ask again. You know, it's like, ask on a regular basis, body, do you want this? Because the body might just want something, and the thing is, your body might just want a few bites of something and not the whole thing, and that's okay too.
It's just the energy of whatever that is. I mean, I do that with supplements if I'm taking anything. When I am on something, I just walk in and I scan it with my hand. I just scan and go, okay, what's today? I don't read the label and see how many it says to take. I do it in my hand and go, oh, 2, 3. Okay, I need 4 of this. I might not take that again for a long time.
Yeah.
But it's whatever it was that it needed for some kind of cycle within my own system for the day, whatever energies that I was running, whatever frequencies, whatever the frequency holder needs, because that's who it is. It's like when we connected that inner alchemist in our own frequency holder that's holding the energy for us to take that energy and to transform it out into whatever we need for the day.
And that's going to change all the time. What your frequency is going to change every day, right? So are you what frequency are you vibrating at right now? And when you raise your vibration, when your vibration lowers, etc., it's like that's really important to know too. So part of this is about being aware of your body, being aware of your thoughts, being aware of your emotions, not running on automatic pilot, right? And I think
automatic judgment.
Yeah, really? I mean, I don't think I'm 100% aware all the time. I know I'm not, but I try and be more aware than not of what's going on in my system. And when I say system, I mean the body, the energetic system, the mental body, the emotional body, like what's going on, right? So that I can, if something is not great, I can change it. I can say, all right, what's going on here, and tweak it and change it, right?
Right.
So that's, energy maintenance. That's also being a co-creator of your reality, a co-creator of your life. That is what it really, that's what that means. Okay. So it's about being aware, being conscious of your thoughts, feelings, and emotions, what you're doing, what you're being, what your energy is, what it's like. Okay. So, oh my God, it's like we just put in so much so far already. We've talked about so much in this short period of time, I feel like.
And it does go back to that, the judgment, and is it something that's external that we're just doing for our own significance, and maybe even that, who has judgment of that? If it makes you feel significant in the moment, it might be what it is that you need to change the energy. If you haven't been feeling that, then in the moment you have it. And if it's enough that makes changes in your life, until we move into another octave of energy.
So be willing to change, be willing to upgrade your life, be willing to upgrade your energy, right? So instead of this is how I am, no, this is how you were, but how do you want to be now? And how do you want to be moving forward?
Yes. Right. And when we connect into that, and what is the next assignment, and how will this move me forth, and what's the energy for me to do that?
And and it's always about asking yourself every day, what is my intention for today? How do I want to be? What do I want to feel? What do I want to experience today? Right? So that way, when you're starting off the day with intentions of how you would like to experience the day, you get to choose. And then you're not at the expense of or at the effect of everything. You're kind of like, in control a little bit.
You're in balance. So when you're in balance, if it brings balance to you, then that's going to, you're not going to be spinning out. It's like it's that type of, it feels like balance.
And it feels like, you're rowing the boat, so when you're rowing the boat, you're steering it this way, whatever, however you row a boat. I have no idea. I don't know why that symbol came into my head, right? Have I ever rowed a boat? No.
You have to use one paddle or use this paddle or do them both at the same time to go straight ahead, or this way to go backwards.
Good. Yeah.
You just get in there and start doing this, then the boat's going to be going like that. It's not going to be stable.
Either way, you're the driver, you're steering the wheel,
right.
You're steering the boat, you're steering the car, right? So it's not just going anywhere haphazard.
Yeah, that's it. That's what would happen. And so it's like if it gives you that momentum to bring the balance, then that's what it is. It's about momentum.
All right. So, anything else? So what's going on for you this week? I know for me, I've got a busy week. I've got shows every day, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So it's like a busy week. Yeah, I'll be busy. So you'll see me live every day.
I'm busy with creating my platforms because where I'm working on my membership, and I'm adding things every day. I'm recording constantly, and with this whole 30-day immersion, I'm really, really, I'm loving this. I'm loving working in this way. And so that's even balanced. What is it, that it's like it's exciting me because also the container and the people in it, they want the next level. They want to move into that. And so when you're in that energy of that, then you're all like, you're selling together, and there's a momentum that goes with that. And, I've had some days of technical stuff, but just like today, we had a thing of technical stuff that was outside of anything in the moment. So what we do, we just went a different way.
Yeah.
And so it's about that. Like, that's going to come up. I can't control that. And then, what's the resource and how do I bring it in another way? Because I noticed that my people pleaser has shown itself in, oh, well, I said I was going to be, because I had that happen. I said I was going to be live on Facebook, and Facebook and Zoom didn't talk to each other, and I couldn't do it. Yeah. And so, and then I spent all of this time trying to download it, and it took forever. And then it was like, when is my people pleaser, sucking the life force out of me? That when there's other things I could be doing by setting, instead of, when it was already up in their platform, it was a place where they could access it. Easier.
Yeah.
So
why make it more complicated for yourself?
Why make it more complicated for yourself? And so when does your own valor, which is really your pride, suck the life out of you? Just because sometimes, I notice I do that. I have extreme loyalty to other people that sometimes is a life sucker for me.
I hear you. I do the same. I'm also, I guess you could say, people pleaser with my clients specifically.
Right.
I like to go above and beyond and do more and more and more, give more and give more, give more. So one of the things I'm also working on too is like, I'm creating this like 8 to 10 MP3 package, healing with the angels. So that is really fun because I love working with the angels. So that I hope, is going to be done by the end of the month, which I'll be able to offer it to my community. Plus, maybe I'll go on other shows and offer it there as well. Right. So just for
I'm enjoying the recording and going through stuff. I'm even going, this has been interesting because I'm going back and listening to some of the packages that I did previously. And so it's amazing when I hear myself and I think, oh, this is brand new and we're in this now. And then it's like, oh, I said that then, and how timeless it actually is.
Yeah.
In that I can feel the energies in the transmissions, and so I'm really recognizing that. So it's actually what it's bringing for me is that I'm seeing what my true path is. It's like, oh, this is what you teach all of the time. This is the energies that that always seem to, it's whatever it is that I'm here to transmit to humanity. And so I'm witnessing that within myself, and then how that's all integrating out. But I'm really enjoying this this 30 days of immersion and where we're going with it, and what's happening with that, and the energy that's there with it, the excitement of it. It's, we have the experience where sometimes it's that difference where people are ready to dive in, and when they just want to stick their toe in it and then run. And so, I got people diving in and going as deep as they can.
Yeah, that's awesome. And that's the thing. It's like, sometimes we just want to put our toe in, and sometimes we're ready. So are you ready to dive in, or are you still, on the surface, or are you still, by the shore, not really ready yet to go forward? And it's okay, but just check in with yourself. What are you ready for now? Because this is the time of great change. So are you willing to change? Are you ready for the change? So stay tuned for both of our programs that are coming out soon. Mine by the end of the month, hopefully. Kimberly's soon as well, right?
Yeah, because I'm enjoying this so much, because when it came from doing that money is magic, and then I saw that it was like people were wanting to go, to the next level, and it came from that, and I'm already seeing how it's like, oh, I really like this in this way, and this is gonna be a continuous kind of program in some way.
Awesome.
So
Good.
it's teaching me that. Yeah.
Cool. So yeah,
So that's that. What brings you joy? It's that staying in the energy of what brings you joy, and so I'm painting with it. I'm painting in the codes every day of what's coming in. So
exactly.
yeah.
So be in the joy. Do what brings you joy. Don't wait for a special occasion to wear your diamonds. Wear them every day. If that brings you joy, if it's fun for you, if it feels good. How is your energy when you wear them? So just listen to your body. And that's the thing. It's like, listen to your body. Your body is here creating with you, right? Everything is happening through your body. Let it be your co-creator, your part of your team to work with you, right? And let it have some fun too, right? So it's not just about the mind, it's about the body. Okay, so thank you so much, everyone. This was great. We have a busy week, so you can find us on Facebook, you can find us on YouTube, and most of you are already in our community, so that's awesome. So look out for some emails from both of us about what's going on. All right, and so we hope to see you next week on Facebook Live. It didn't work out this week, so maybe it will next week. We'll see. All right, until next time, may you continue to be blessed with an abundance of joy, peace, love, happiness, prosperity, radiant health. Sending you all much love and blessings always.
Thank you for being the gift to humanity that you are. Go create.
Go create, go live your life, have fun, joy, just be. Bye for now, everyone.
Bye.